Namaskaram. Welcome to my channel, VPK Nutrition, Mind Body Healing with Pushpa. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the mind because January is considered to be Mental Wellness Month. So the important thing is we need to understand our mind before we actually do anything about it. So according to yoga, there are 4 parts to our mind, and each of those parts or faculties have different functions that they serve, and they influence the way we receive information, process it, and also act in our day-to-day life. So awareness is the key to anything. So I will give you some practical guidelines on how to understand your mind first of all, and then purify your mind and improve your mental health. So stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you've been enjoying my episodes so far. Please do like them, comment on them, and also subscribe if you already haven't done that. So today's topic is about mental health. So what is mental health? Now, according to modern science, mental health includes the emotional, psychological, and social well-being of a person. Now, this influences a lot of areas in our life, including how we deal with stress, how we relate to people, how we handle situations in our life, and generally go about our day-to-day in a peaceful manner. Now, again, if you ignore, suppose you have less than optimal mental health and you keep ignoring for a long time, then this can start to manifest as physical ailments like chronic illnesses, and also could lead to obesity or loss of appetite, constipation, digestive disorders, lung disease, and so many things. And again, there are a lot of studies to show that. Now, Ayurveda has always talked about the holistic approach to health and well-being, which includes body, mind, and spirit. So whatever happens in the mind manifests in the body if it's not taken care of, and whatever body problems we have also affect the mind. So this interrelationship always exists. So it is very important that we keep our mind healthy so that physically also we are healthy and our immune system is working well, so we are able to fight any physical ailments as well. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about mental wellness, not mental illness. So mental wellness is not the lack of mental illness, but it is more about keeping a healthy mind to function. Now, again, I'm not going to be talking about any serious illnesses that may be much more evolved, and those might need other therapies, but this is more about the general wellness of your mind. Again, of course, some of the things that I'm going to share may help with those things as well if you are inclined to try things on your own. So from a yogic perspective, the mind consists of 4 parts or 4 faculties. So these things, they're called manas, buddhi, ahankara, and chitta, and I'm going to explain each one of those. All of these 4 factors are intertwined with each other, and these are the ones that help us make decisions in our life. Whatever we receive in the mind, we process that a certain way based on our personality, and then we act based on that. And so this is what keeps our mental balance. So the first step to mental wellness is being aware of your own mind. So once you know that, then you can actually take steps to improve your mental health. And that is what I'll be sharing. I'm going to first define the 4 things that I talked about, then give you some tips on how to improve each level of your mind so you can get to optimum mental health. So let's examine these 4 parts of the mind one by one. First one is called manas. That is the one closest to the senses, linked to the senses. So any information that is coming through the senses is received by this part of the mind, which is called the manas. So that is just the receiving part, but it does not make any decisions. Next, whatever is received, this data is sent to the intellect or the buddhi. Now, buddhi is the individual buddhi, which is influenced by 2 other factors. Now, the buddhi is the discriminating faculty, which separates right from wrong, good from bad. It warns you of dangers, things like that. So it helps you make decisions based on 2 things. One is the third factor, which is Ahankara. Now, Ahankara is the ego, or your identification of who you think you are. Now, this is also a combination of the three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. And I've done detailed videos about these three things in the series on Ayurveda and mind, and you can definitely go look at that. I will put the link in the description. So this sattva, rajas, and tamas varies from person to person. Now, sattva is the more peaceful part of yourself. Rajas is the more active part of yourself. It can lead to disturbance and agitation of thoughts. Then the tamas is the dull part of yourself, more sluggish part of yourself. Now again, we have a combination of all three in our minds, but the quality of our mind varies based on the proportion of these sattva, rajas, and tamas. Again, you can learn more about this from those videos. The fourth aspect is the chitta. Now, this is another thing that influences our intellect. So the chitta is like the memory bank. It holds all of our experiences from the past. And of course, it is believed that we even hold experiences from past lives. And if you've listened to Dr. Brian Weiss, he actually did hypnotherapy and found that people do hold on to memory from past lives, and their phobias may be related to something from even a past life, not even this life. So again, this chitta is very strong and has a lot of information in it. So this, along with the gunas, influence the person, gives information to the buddhi to make a decision when there is a stimulus and needs action. So this is the basic framework of our mind. So if you understand the four parts of it, then we can help ourselves by improving each one of these things in a positive way to improve mental health. And these are the tips that I'm going to be sharing today. Step one is dealing with the mana. So limit the amount of stimulus that comes into the mind, and also clean the quality of the information that you do allow in. So first, step in that is to limit the amount of data collection through unnecessary watching too much of news or debating shows or even social media like WhatsApp and Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and also Googling a bunch of things and learning too much information that you don't need. The second thing, of course, is to refrain from negative stimuli like listening to gossip or listening to violent music or watching violent horror movies that can influence the mind, and also listening to foul language and things like that, anything that can negatively impact your mind. Playing violent video games can be part of that. A lot of the younger people today do that. And of course, the third thing that you can do to help with both of these is turn off your gadgets for a few hours in a day and kind of give your mind a break. Step two, sharpen the intellect, the second one, buddhi, by getting right knowledge and cultivating a higher way of thinking. Now, this can be done in a couple of ways. One is, of course, reading spiritual books or spiritual scriptures or value-based education. And second thing, of course, we talked about the 8 limbs of yoga, which includes the yamas and niyamas with the do's and don'ts in life. So try to imbibe some of those universal values like satyam, which is honesty, ahimsa, non-harming, brahmacharya, self-discipline, and so on and so forth. So these things will give you higher values, so the intellect can function from the higher level rather than being influenced by the gunas and the memory alone. Step 3 is Ahankara. We're dealing with the Ahankara. Now, Ahankara is translated as ego, but ego is actually the identification of who we are based on the 3 gunas. So it is not a negative thing, something that you need to in the transactional world, but it is important that we recognize what kind of ego we have. Is it a sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic? And I said we are a combination of the 3, but what we need to do is go more to a sattvic nature and drop off the rajas and tamas as much as possible. So the more and more we start practicing that, the better you're going to feel mentally. So how do you do this? Sit in mindful meditation, watch some of your thoughts, then later on journal them, and then analyze the thoughts. So it's a little bit of introspection needed here. Analyze the thoughts and see what your tendencies are. Is it more rajasic, tamasic? Then you follow certain guidelines to reduce the rajas and tamas, and of course increase the sattva. The more and more sattva you increase, the rajas and tamas will automatically drop off. Step number 4 is the chitta. Now, chitta, I said, is the memory bank. Now again, we hold so many past memories in that, good, bad, the ugly. And like I said before, a lot of it could be even from past lives. So when you sit in meditation, shutting off all of the senses, a lot of thoughts start to emerge. So the thoughts are not coming from external stimulus, but from within. So these are based on our past karmas. Now again, we want to watch them, not engage with them, but let them go. So later on, maybe you can analyze them, but at that point, when you're sitting in meditation for like say 15 or 20 minutes, just watch them and let them go. So the important thing is, and in modern psychology, unfortunately, if you go to a therapist, they might dig through a lot of these old past memories. So the more and more you dig into these old memories before they're completely healed, it is just going to perpetuate the wound. It is like if you have a physical wound and you keep on adding salt to it or opening it up every time before it heals, you're going to always have that pain. So it's like you're carrying this wound from the past in your heart all the time. So an good technique that you can use for this, and something I've heard and I have been practicing, is if somebody hurt you in the past or something hurt you in the past, and it is usually some form of guilt as well as hurt feelings. So in that case, what you need to do is apologize for those guilty feelings. Whatever you feel guilty, say apologize for whatever mistakes you might have made inadvertently, and also forgive the hurt person or the hurt feelings, and send love, respect, and blessings to that person. So once you do this, or to the universe, once you do this, you feel much lighter, and immediately those past problems go away. They just drop out. So this is something you can practice on a daily basis. And again, you don't have to sit in meditation for 20 minutes to do this. You can do this anytime when you're just sitting around and, just relaxing. You can even do that when the thoughts arise. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Just to give you a quick recap. Number one, manas. Limit the amount of stimulus that you are taking in through the senses, and improve the quality of the stimulus that you do let in. Number two, buddhi. Sharpen your intellect with the right knowledge from scriptures and good books, and try to follow universal values more and more. Number three is Ahankara. So watch for the quality of your mind in meditation, sattva, rajas, and tamas, and try to move more towards the sattvic mind, so the tamas and rajas, which is agitation and dullness, will drop off. Number four, chitta, the memory bank. Let go of all past experiences and memories that don't serve your higher self. Apologize, forgive, send love, respect, and blessings all around to anyone who might have hurt you or any situations. So again, follow these things. And if you want to do just one thing this week, just 20 minutes in meditation, this will take away the stimulus for some time, help you watch your gunas and understand your own mind, and also let go of those past memories from a subconscious level. So again, modern medicine and Ayurveda both talk about how the mind is so important, the mental health is so important for physical well-being. So make this a priority and follow some of these techniques. Again, remember, mind does not like to change anything because it's always attached to old habits. So you will always go back to old habits, but that's okay. So make this a discipline every day, so that over time, again, give yourself some time, you will be able to get to a more peaceful mind. So this week, listen to your body, observe your mind, and help yourself. So see you next week.